Hey guys, we're going to take advantage of Apex's $59 100k account sizing 5-pack, $59 all in. So there is no reason not to get this if you have any experience trading. So I'm going to go ahead and buy this right now, get a 5-pack, and we're going to pass it together. Okay, we've just paid $295 for no fee activation, $3,000 trailing drawdown intraday, 100k accounts with Apex. So we're going to pass these together, and here we go. Okay, here we've gone and made a group of the 5 accounts for 100k no fee YouTube pass, and we're going to copy trade these just so we can get them done faster. So we're going to save that. All right. So to give you an idea of what I'm seeing here, we have Friday's RDR, the regular session, regular defining range session, the New York session, right here. And I'm seeing one standard deviation down from that is here at 28,966. Okay, when I draw 5 lines on Nasdaq every day, it's from 7:30 through midnight, 7:30 through 4 o'clock, 7:30 through 4:30, midnight through 4 o'clock, midnight through 4:30. And I'm seeing these line up with the New York 10 a.m. price basically right here. So we're going to take a short here, and we might see an extension up here to the daily opening gap here from a while ago. Possibly a 1 standard deviation extension from the overnight defining range, the ODR section up to here, 29,307. So we might see that pop through here, take some of these flat highs of liquidity before we make a dump down here into this OTE range. And, you know, what I'm seeing is this double bottom from the London session getting completely wiped out by, we might spike up here and then take a dive, or we might just take a dive. So what we can do is take one bullet here, and if we do get stopped out after the 9 o'clock hour or the 9:30 open and we come up here, we might want to tag the low of the ADR here, which is also midnight price from Friday. That is also a possibility. The weekly open is a possibility. And the NWOG here is a possibility for liquidity raid to the upside. It's also what I would see as a likely target for the end of the day once we would want to actually go long. I think we want to go long the indices this week, but for now, I want to see kind of the euro and the pound manipulate short, and the indices manipulate short for the beginning of the week to then make a run higher and finish out the month, but not too strongly. Otherwise, that might give us a bullish indication on the indices instead of what I'd like to see as a bearish, not a bearish close on the month, but a bigger wick on the month. So here is where we're going to be looking to take a short from here. I mean, this is the midnight price. Possibly the 1 standard deviation and the NDOG from up here, possibly the NWOG with the weekly opening price here, or a tap of the after hours, you know, the Asian session here. So that's what we're looking at. But I'm going to start with an aggressive short here. And if it wants to go early, great. If it's going to stop us and then we're going to take another bullet up here, that's fine with me too, because I'm seeing this. There's a break of this trend line, so we have a 1 with flat highs, 2, possibly a third drive up here, and then a full-on dump down to maybe 1 standard target of Friday's RDR. So that's the trade we're going to be outlining here and taking on these new 5 accounts. All right, just to be clear, we've modeled this out on NQ, but we're gonna take it with 4 micros here for $800 of risk up just above the weekly opening, and that's a 3.5 hour trade. Down here, we should end up with $2,785 if the trade works out in our favor. So we're going to see what happens. It's past 9 o'clock now, and we're not seeing like a big dump right off the bat. So I'm thinking this high is going to get taken. It's going to go above the midnight price, probably to 1 standard here of the ODR, the overnight range. And we're going to take our short here at 307.25, just above these flat highs here, which is also back in premium of the day's range so far. So premium rests here at basically 29,300. So we do want to make sure we're taking a short in premium. Now this could just run without us, and that's it. So we'll take another trade either later today, because I think ultimately we want to go long the indices this week, or we wait for tomorrow, and that's okay. Because our interest is in passing these evaluations. Yes, quickly, but they're $59, no fee to activate a PA for Apex, and that is pretty amazing. Usually Apex, right, you have to pay 120, depends on if they have a promotion, 85 to 125 to activate your PA. So if you get 5 accounts, that's right there, $675 or $625 just to activate your PAs. So you better hope you take some payouts from those accounts. Here with basically $60 all in, you can't beat it. So we're gonna do this and make sure we pass these accounts. All right, so here's our order in for 4 contracts on each account of the 100K no fee YouTube grouping here. So we're going to hope that NQ spikes up here, takes out these flat highs into premium, into this imbalance order block from the overnight session, and then dumps to take out the London low and then some. If it looks like it's going to reverse, we're going to drop to break even and or stops in profit, so that we're not backtracking too far on these accounts, because we do have the $3,000 drawdown, right? And we don't want to chew too far into that. One thing that Apex has been good about teaching me is how to be afraid of letting trades run, which is not a good thing on their intraday evaluation accounts. But you know, that's what the promotion is on right now, so that's what we're going to run with. All right, just a quick update here. We're at 927, and as expected, we just kind of futzed around here for a while, and now we're pushing up, presumably for 930 to take this liquidity. And in all honesty, I'm expecting the bottom of the ADR to get tapped, because if you study DR theory, the ODR, the ADR, and the RDR within a given day almost always will touch each other at significant levels. So I'm expecting the top of the RDR to at least be at the ADR zone right here at Friday's midnight price. And we could hit the weekly open and this NWOG. So we'll see where we pump to from here. But our entry here is at 307, and our stop here is at 410, 406. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. But 930 open's about to come and probably run this high, and we'll see how far it goes before, presumably, as per plan, it should dump down to here, where it might find some support around 1 standard from Friday's range. On the flip side, right, this ODR could be the bottom of the day, but this double bottom here between 2 and 3 and 4 o'clock just looks too juicy with all the trend lines coming down. And these aren't trend lines, they're just time-based projections for the New York session. So we'll see if the RDR wants to open and hit the ADR and then come down here for, you know, a 11:30, 12 o'clock finish for the London session, and then maybe a turnaround. But we're not planning to trade New York's afternoon, so we'll see if we come and run this high, tap ourselves in, and take a dive. Okay, it is looking like maybe the aggressive short at the start would have paid off. I'm wondering if it just wants to sweep these lows really quickly and then run back up here, or if we've just completely missed our boat here and it is just going to run. Well, I said I might take an aggressive short. I didn't. And right now, I'm not, unless we don't get all the way to this 1 standard, I'm not particularly keen on reshorting from up here, but there could be this wicked manipulation, right? Where we sweep these lows, we come back here, sweep the highs, and then come down for the ultimate reversal. But, you know, we've just started to find support at this first line that I drew, and I'm not completely confident we get down to the bottom lines here, unless it happens right now. And so just to be clear, the manipulation up from the weekly open down here is 5 standard deviations, which aligns perfectly with 1 standard deviation from Friday's RDR, New York session. And I'm thinking we just get down there maybe by 9:45, and that's the the quote unquote Judas swing from ICT, or the manipulation on the whole day's liquidity and last Friday. And then maybe we come up. Here's what might keep me bearish enough is that ES has yet to take Friday's lows. So for now, right, ES took that double bottom and NQ did not at the 7 o'clock, 7:30 run on the London high so far. And ES is still within that range. So there is a chance with ES coming down to maybe take these, that NQ sweeps its highs again and then comes down. So right now, NQ took a nice drop off and is finding some support here at this line. We might come back up, sweep this high, and then roll back down, as ES may want to come take Friday's lows. That is still a possibility here that I'm entertaining as per our plan. So if ES wants to come back up while NQ makes maybe a bigger push towards this high and our entry point, it's possible that we see NQ do a big manipulation down, and then ES will take its lows. NQ would then have to take its already established New York low. So, we're going to play this out. If we miss the trade, that's fine, because we're going to pass these together without blowing these accounts. And if our idea, the aggressive idea, is playing out, the conservative idea where we only risk $800 on the account is, maybe too conservative today, and we wanted more of a premium than we're going to get today. And that's completely fine. We're going to be patient, and we need to make sure that we don't blow these. All right. Okay, we found our way to 4 standard deviations down from the open to the high. So what we expect is still maybe one more standard deviation to hit one standard of last Friday's New York range. And we'll see if we get that. Right now, we had initial support at this midnight through 4:30 line. Now we've found a little bit of bounce at the midnight through 4 o'clock line. But there's, to me, a strong gravitas, or strong pull towards this cluster of lines from 7:30 through midnight, and 7:30 through 4, and midnight through 4. So we'll see if we can get down to that 5 standards, possibly lower to the average true range for the day. I don't know if we get there, actually. These lines are going to presumably show some good support around 10 o'clock. And, we'll see where that takes us. Right now, it's just analysis, because obviously we didn't come up to our entry. The aggressive entry at the top of the London range, bottom of Friday's RDR New York range, may have been, that's the aggressive play. So if we wanted to take a 2 contract bullet on that, we could have done that, and we'd be up, a couple $100. But I think I'd rather shoot for a 3.5 hour trade instead of a 1.25 hour trade. If we pull that down, that's here, 1.2 hour. And I don't want to risk, for risking 800, and we're only going to make 950. That's not the trade I want to be taking on these accounts. So I would have rather taken it up here for a 3.5 hour trade and let this one go. That's just how it goes. If we were up late and wanted to take the Asia trade at 11 o'clock New York time, where, and hold it through all this, seeing these flat highs, etc., in premium, I wouldn't have felt too comfortable holding that, especially. But this double bottom looked like it was going to get run out. It did. Now we're below that 4 standard, so we may just hit this 5 standard and 1 standard, as we've discussed. And that could be it for our trade idea for the New York session as the analysis is playing out. I would be expecting a reversal, but I don't necessarily think it needs to be particularly fast right now. That, this will be a manipulation leg down if we're going to reverse up and take these highs and actually connect to the Asia defining range, the ADR here. So, that may play out, but that's not the trade I'm interested in taking. I was interested in this short if we were able to run this high into the end dog from Friday. So that is how it's playing out, and that's what we're going to live with. All right, well, there we have hit the target on our short. Had we gotten it up at 304, if we took the aggressive short for 1.2R, we would be hitting that. The 1 standard from Friday's RDR has been tapped. The 5 standards from a manipulation up from the weekly open has been tapped. We hit the lines that we drew from 7:30 through midnight and midnight through 4 o'clock. Right there, and we're seeing a reaction here at 9:45. So the most I expect to see right now is maybe a 10 o'clock push down to the average true range day, but I expect these lines to hold the 15-minute body above, and I actually expect this to be as far as the push down in the New York AM is going to go, and we probably just chop here and maybe reverse. If we keep going lower, that's fine too. You know, it gives opportunity for later in the week, but right now the analysis played out to obvious targets running obvious liquidity at an obvious time, New York open. So there we have it. I think we're going to leave it there. If something interesting does come up here, or just more of the analysis continues to play out as indicated, then we'll revisit in an hour or two. But for now, pretty much shutting it down, and that's what we got. Cheers. And just for posterity now, we can see that we have found our support. 10 o'clock, we basically reversed, and we're headed higher. So now for the day, I'm not longing this, obviously. I wasn't planning on longing it, as I described, but I thought we'd expect to see a reversal around this level. We did exactly that, and now I would expect the London highs to be run, these flat highs to be run, and at least the low of the ADR to get tapped, potentially the weekly open. So now, from a weekly analysis perspective, this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see a run down for a weaker dollar this week to allow the indices to run higher for ultimately a September sell-off is what I think we will see. But, you know, we've now had this huge imbalance. We have filled it back in. So do we chop and then finish up kind of up here? Probably. But again, now no trade. We had no trade on the way down because we did not get in an aggressive short here, which is completely fine. So we will see you tomorrow for the next installment of passing these 5 100K Apex accounts together. Have a good evening.